Good morning. Happy Friday, TGIF. This is Robert, and this video commentary take is going to be on something that I read, and it's really a common type thing, and it's really about indifference and the way that people view being indifferent and my personal opinion on indifference. Um, we really live in a culture, and this is my observation, so it's just mine. It doesn't mean that it's right, wrong, or accurate or true. But we live in a culture where indifference is valued as some type of strength, and um, I don't see indifference being any type of strength. I see it being a weakness that's valued as a strength. And I'm going to go into my line of thinking with that. Um, I am a person who doesn't want to be indifferent. I want to care. I think caring is an absolute strength, and it makes a person worth makes a person beautiful. Caring, um, and uh, this is why I think it's more of a strength to care than it is to be indifferent. Caring will cause you to suffer, to inflict, to deal with pain. Because when you care about people and they hurt you, uh, it hurts. Your trust is betrayed, and your trust is broken. You care, so you open yourself to suffering. And what makes a person strong is not the fact that they are opening themselves to suffering and allowing themselves to suffer. But when you care, you, you know, it, and when if you care and you're suffering and you continue to care, that's not easy to go through. But if you care about somebody and you're willing to go through suffering or anything like that, it's very strong to tolerate pain and suffering. Um, and perhaps there's some instances where suffering, you don't want to suffer for no reason, but if you're caring about somebody, you love somebody, and you're going through suffering from that, that's really the best proof of that you care about somebody. Bob Marley said, the truth is everybody's going to hurt you. You got to find the people that are worth suffering for. So, if you're indifferent, if you're indifferent, you detach yourself from suffering, which may sound like a good idea, but if you love someone uh, and you detach yourself from suffering from them, you know what that means? That though that person's going to go through suffering independently of you, and if and I, I guess if so that person, you're screwing that person over. Um, so there may be instances where people being indifferent can be like valued as a strength, but it's in today's society, people are indifferent not because they're strong. People are indifferent because they're weak. They're cowards. They can't handle pain. They can't handle suffering, so they detach, and it's like a strength to them. But no, it's being a coward. There's nothing strong about being a coward. There's nothing strong about detaching because you can't handle pain or suffering. It's strong to handle pain and suffering, and it's the ultimate proof that you love somebody, that you're going to suffer for them, and you're not going to run away from it. You're going to handle the pain. You'll put yourself in 7 trillion years of hell because you love the person. It's the same thing with loss. If you think that moving on quickly, and this is my personal opinion about that, if you love somebody and you move on very quickly from that person, that's a slap in the face to the person. Now, people may disagree. No, um, when I love somebody and I lose them, it takes a long time to get over. And I'm not weak because it takes a long time to get over. I'm sorry, the person meant something to me, and I'm not going to move on very quickly from that. I think people who move on very quickly from anything are people that are ballless, and that means that they weren't very invested in what they moved on from. If you can move on very quickly, I don't find moving on from anything quickly as any type of strength. You know, it's never been something that I've moved on from anything quickly. It's because what I lost I valued, and it's difficult to accept that I'm never going to find that type of value again in anything. I have to find a different value, which is all well and good, and you know what, that's the process. But I think in this society, people are indifferent not because they're strong, because they're weak cowards, and it impacts being indifferent. The other way that being indifferent really impacts people negatively is people don't care if they hurt you, respect you. Being indifferent to how to treat people, and that's supposed to be okay. Being indifferent to not people to tell the truth, that you're going to be dishonest. A bunch of cowardly people with indifference that are looking to control things that if you care about people, you don't need to control. So indifference, I think, more than a strong type of trait for somebody, it's absolutely a weak trait for people. I see it now. People become indifferent to control people because, and you know what, like that's people have used that to leverage me and caring and whatnot. And I'm a person that actually is very passionate, compassionate, isn't fine caring, but you know what? I can still be compassionate and kind and caring and not allow you to control me. I'm my compassion is just as strong as indifference. And honestly, I would rather be with somebody who is compassionate, maybe cares a little bit too much, than somebody who doesn't care whatsoever and using that ability indifference to control me in some way. So I don't see indifference as some type of strength in whatsoever. Um, because in life life is a majority of it is suffering from if because we care too much or whatever. And I'm not going to be with somebody who is going to be indifferent, because that person is not, because again, like I'm exposing it, like if I'm with somebody who's indifferent, it's not because they're strong, it's because they're trying to control me, because they're a coward and they can't handle the real pain of being in a relationship or being in love or anything like that, which that is the reality of being in love, being in pain. There's suffering attached to that. um, so yeah, indifference, if you're indifferent, you think that you're getting all this attention from people. It's not because you're strong. It's because you're a cowardly POS looking to control, and that's what you're getting. You're controlling people who care, and controlling people. There's no strength in that. That's absolutely weakness. It's what I would never control another human being as long as I live, to get a reaction from me. I I'd rather have somebody who genuinely likes me that I haven't tried to control to do that. Um, and you know what, I like that about myself. So that's my take on indifference. Feel free to have your own, and whatnot. So I would like anybody who's listening to this, thank you, and you have a wonderful rest of the Friday. Love you guys.